He's never been in studio, okay? We've never met him in person.
Yeah.
But Bill Melugin is here to react to my birthday.
Yeah.
It was my first time actually meeting Will in person, and I can attest to the poetic voice.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Good to finally meet you guys. Although I have met Rachel down.
Yeah, we have. But don't go all Paula Deen on him, because
No promises.
Paul is safe as seat.
Okay.
Seat is safe.
Seat is safe.
That's how flustered I am.
But Bill, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good to
you
be
for
here with you
all the
guys.
fantastic reporting you do on the border.
Thank you.
I know I
Truly.
speak for all of our viewers in that sense. I mean, without you and Griff and others, this is a story no one else wants to tell.
Yeah.
You guys tell it so well.
Thank you.
We got recent news that the U.S. is, through a deal with Canada, we're going to be flying illegals caught crossing the Canadian border to Texas. How do viewers make sense of what the policy is right now?
So essentially, the U.S. and Canada just cut a deal where they're going to start expelling migrants caught at each other's border back and forth. Essentially, they're going to reject their asylum bids. And what the U.S. is doing is they're flying some of the migrants who are caught crossing at the northern border down to Texas. And they say they're doing this as a decompression effort up at the northern border, so the northern border facilities don't get overwhelmed. What they're really trying, it's a drop in the bucket what's crossing up there in the northern border. Like what crosses there in 5 months is what crosses in one single day at the southern border. So it's probably more of what they're trying to do as a deterrent. Like, hey, if you go up to the northern border, you try to cross into the U.S., we're going to fly you back down to Texas and we're going to kick you back into Mexico. And, you know, the question is, why are they cutting deals with Canada right now for our northern border when, again, the numbers are so minuscule compared to what's happening down at our southern border? We've now had 23 months in a row at our southern border of 150,000 plus illegal crossings.
And that's who we know.
Yeah, doesn't count the gotaways.
And Bill, it's symbolic, but I mean, Joe Biden visited Canada. He sat with Justin Trudeau this week, and we're still sitting here talking about, what are we, two plus years into the administration, and no visit.
Too long is what we are.
Yeah,
well,
no visit to the southern border.
It's also been almost 2 years to the day since VP Kamala Harris was assigned as the border czar. That was March 24th, 2021. What have we seen from it? She's visited the border one single time. She went to El Paso in June of 2021. She continues to focus on the root causes in 3 countries, the Northern Triangle countries. There were 170 countries that showed up at the border last year. Focusing on 3 is not going to get the job done. We've had the highest illegal crossings ever, the highest migrant deaths ever recorded, lowest deportations ever. All of these things come together with all the pull factors we obviously talk about, the mass releases. It just keeps getting worse. And we're about to head into the springtime, the summertime, when it traditionally gets very busy. We'll have to see what happens this year.
And hotter and more dangerous. We were talking during the commercial break about those poor little kids who were found by, you know, Border Patrol, who rescues them. You speak so often with Border Patrol and our law enforcement that's down there. How are they doing? It just seems like such a thankless job with these policies in place.
They're worn out, and they've been worn out. They have been for the last couple of years. I mean, when you're out there in McAllen, Texas, or La Jolla, and it's 115 degrees, and it's humid, and the mosquitoes are all in your face, and you watch these agents tracking runners in the brush for hours, spending most of their day trying to go get them. They finally catch them, and then they find out later that those people were released into the interior of the U.S. How would you feel?
Yeah.
I mean,
or flown with our taxpayer dollars to some other place.
Released to an NGO and get to go wherever they want.
We want to get to why you're in New York in just one moment. I want to ask you really quickly. We've asked Griff this. Rachel's been to the border many times. I've been many times. And one of the shocking things is, like, I've sat there on the border in El Paso and watched people from Cuba crossing the Rio Grande. We keep getting the stories about Chinese nationals. I mean, the people that you must see down there on a regular basis, as you pointed out, from 170 countries across this world, is not the image that people have in their mind in America.
No, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. There have been a couple times during my border coverage where Border Patrol will publish some of the people they've caught, and there will be countries on there I've had to Google. I've never heard of them before. Eritrea, Mauritania, these countries in Africa, and you wonder, how do these people get here? I mean, because they got to fly around all these different countries, cross through different countries. And yeah, the Chinese numbers, they're up over 900% right now compared to the same time last year.
This is not a national emergency. I mean, we're in basically a war with them practically.
And they're mass releasing a lot of them with what's called an NTAOR, a notice to appear release on your own recognizance.
The Chinese are getting that same treatment
if they claim fear, they're being released with what's called an NTAOR, mass release. Buses dropping them off in Brownsville, Texas, yes.
Almost like we don't have a country. I mean, really, if you don't have borders, you don't have a country.
I'm really shocked even by that.
It's amazing. But you're in New York this morning.
Yep.
What are you doing here? What do you
So
got coming
shocked
up?
I'm dropping my papers.
I'm filling in for John Scott on Fox Report. Filled in last night, filling in again tonight. So looking forward to that. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the FBI. Remember that memo in October 2021 targeting parents at school board meetings? We're going to have Congressman Russell Fry on. He's leading the House Oversight Committee, the subcommittee looking into that investigation. We're going to have James Freeman on from the Wall Street Journal, talk about politics, the economy. We're going to have Kaylee McGee-White from the Washington Examiner talk about TikTok, which I heard you guys just talking about. So obviously something that gets people fired up these days. So I've never had a TikTok in my life, by the way. Not just because of the security issues. I just think it's annoying. I'm sick of watching people do their little dances. 32.
I mean, you zig while everyone else zagged on that one.
Yeah, for sure. You're
choice.
definitely countercultural.
Yep, I'll take
I love
it.
it.
All right, Bill.
Great to meet you in person.
Likewise.
Thanks, Bill.
Good to see you guys.
We love what you do, Bill.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.